All right. And welcome back to the Silver and Black podcast. My name is Raider Will, and I'm your host, along with my co-host.
Raider Matt, how's it going, everybody?
Let's go, Raider Nation. So in today's episode, we're going to talk, in sequence one, Raider news and transactions. Okay. Then after that, we're going to move right into the Broncos Raiders game. Then we're going to go into, we're going to look at our big time players. Guys that are going to have to make big plays for us during the game.
Yep.
And lastly, we're going to look at, what do we expect for our rookies on Sunday? So guys, follow us on this episode, and we hope that you guys have a good time. And if you guys like what you guys are listening to, go ahead and click that add button on Spotify or anything that you download your podcast on, and definitely hit that automatic download. Then you guys could also hit us up on, YouTube. We're on YouTube. We are pretty much on every single platform to live stream. So guys, go ahead and click that like button and make sure that you guys follow along. So, Matt, let's move on to sequence one, Raider news and notes. For Raider news today, what we're going to do is talk about Raiders transactions, all right? In Raiders transactions, what we got is we've signed Marcus Callaway. We've signed Isaac D'Arcangelo. We've signed Vitaly Gurman and defensive end Janarius Robinson, all to the practice squad, and we released Devin Ross. What are your thoughts on those pickups?
Well, I do like the Marquez Callaway pickup. He did pretty good for the Saints his rookie year that he came out. He was injured last year, I believe, for the season, so he didn't really have much action last year. But I do think it's a good depth pickup. Isaac D'Arcangelo, he's a rookie, right? I believe.
Well, Isaac D'Arcangelo was that kid that we picked up. You know, he did well during the preseason. What I saw was a lot of potential. And again, I really do think that our team's done a good job of, the guys that we released, we picked them back up and put them back on our squad. And a lot of people were sweating that because they were like, dude, we released this guy, we released that guy. But I think, again, we were just talking a little bit ago where it said, hey, you know what? Like, management did a really good job this year of the guys that we released. If they wanted them back, we got most of them back. I think the only guy that we didn't get back, in my opinion, was the linebacker.
Yeah, Drake Thomas,
that we were like, hey, bro, I know a lot of people had a lot of hype on that dude, and we all as Raiders fans were excited about having. But I really feel like he's the one guy that got away. They put him on the release thing, and they released him, and they said, or waiver, whatever it is, boom, they said, hey, we're going to see if we can get this guy back. And obviously he didn't make it through the wire. He got picked up, I think it's by the Dolphins. Is that right? Or something like that?
Man, I don't remember who he got picked up by. I know it was, I think it was another AFC team.
Yeah, but so he got picked up, and we all know it. So guess what? It happens. But if you look at the guys that we released and put on that waiver wire, we signed a shitload back to the practice squad, which to me means we did that right. Because usually if you got guys that you release that you're like, dude, this guy's gone. A big majority of guys are gone. But this year, man, we did a good job.
Yep. Give credit where credit's due, man.
Yeah.
Ziegler did some stuff this year, and, bringing back players, that's a good sign. That means that, that's people that want to come back and play for the organization, that tells a little bit different story than what everybody else is out there saying about McDaniels and Ziegler right now. When you bring back your players, that's telling you that the players want to come back and play for you.
Yeah, and when guys are signing there, okay, and you get released, you're a free agent, you can go wherever you want, or wherever they want to sign you. And for guys to get released and then come back to the squad and say, hey, I want to be a Raider, bro, things are changing. Things are coming up. So I really think we did a fantastic job this year of the guys that we released. We brought them back. We put them on the practice squad. We're developing them. It's exciting to see what we got for the future.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, all right, guys, and that's what we got today for Raiders news and transactions. Now, moving on to segment 2, what we're going to talk is, hey, Broncos Raiders. We
Broncos
are
Raiders.
excited. Yes, sir. Hey, Raider Matt and I are going to go to the game this weekend. We are super excited, super stoked. Guys, we invite you guys to come out. The Black Hole throws a great party Saturday night. Matt is definitely excited to make it. I think we saw Hollywood Raider last year. We saw a bunch of cool folks out
I
there. I
believe
mean, we
Raider
took
Wolf,
lots of
Raging
crazy pictures.
Rhino. I think all those guys were out there last year too.
Yeah. I
Yep.
mean, like, hey,
So
let's be real about it, guys. 5280, okay, in Denver, Saturday night. Be there if you're a Raiders fan. I'd be like the environment, everything there is absolutely outstanding. Chris Domestis, who's the president of Black Hole up there, does a great job of throwing a party every year. I'd be like, those guys up there, they definitely work hard and they definitely try to put it on for Raiders fans. So, guys, go out there and then Sunday, hey, Lot C. Lot C is where it's at, baby.
yes, sir.
Hey, head it up at 9 a.m. We'll be there. We'll definitely be out there having a good time, eating tacos, drinking beer.
Get your
And
wristbands while you can. Free
yes,
food and
sir.
free
Hey,
drinks all you can, or all you can drink and eat till supplies last.
yeah. So, guys, get out there. Make sure that, hey, you guys hit up the TBH chapter for Denver and get your wristbands as long as they have them and as long as they have food and beer. Guys, you'll be able to eat and drink at the tailgate for $15. So take
Mhm.
advantage of that. Definitely be like, hey, get out there and show some support and some love for Raider Nation. So the one
Remember to
thing,
tip your
what?
bartenders.
Yes, sir. Hey, so let me ask you this: what's the one thing you look forward to at the tailgate, Matt?
One thing I look forward to at the tailgate, seeing all my Raider family, man. I love it, dude. Like, especially when we take over Denver, like I love taking over Denver. It's awesome. I hate Denver,
Uh,
but
oh, dude, I love taking over the 303 in
yep,
silver and black, baby.
yep.
So I
And
think the
then
one thing I go ahead, go ahead.
no, no, you go ahead.
All right, man. The one thing I look forward to is definitely the food. Okay, we
Mm,
talked about that. The
yep.
tacos, man, on point. And when they're
Yes, sir.
unlimited, it's even better. I
Mm,
mean, 10.
yeah.
I mean, free drinks, free food. You get great music, great environment. Everybody's chilling. Oh, bro, how can you even say you're a Raiders fan, but you don't enjoy that type of tailgate?
Dude, okay, so get this. I took my mom a couple years ago and she's a diehard Cowboys fan, right? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. I got you.
dude, she had the most fun at the Raiders tailgate. I tell you what, man, she talks about it to this day that the Raiders tailgate party was the best party she's ever been to. So I know we put it on when we go to Denver. So let's do it again this
Hey,
year.
yes, sir. Hey, can't wait to get out there. Now let's get into the game, man. Really, what do you think are going to be key points that we need to look at and say, hey, these are going to be the key points that are going to make and break the game for us?
So key points to this game is going to be Denver's rushing game and our defense. Can our defense stop their rush? I believe we can stop their receiving core. They're not doing very good right now. They're kind of banged up all over the place. They've had to sign a couple other players to come in and take over for Jerry Jeudy, stuff like that, while he's injured. And I believe our corners can shut down their receivers. If we can get after Russell Wilson, we know how he plays. He's not a Joe Schmo. He can get the ball down the field and he can move that ball. But if we can get on him and pressure him with Crosby and Chandler Jones, maybe some Tyree Wilson. I think we could get them. Their biggest thing though was their rush. Like Javonte Williams is no joke, man. That dude's a baller. But if we can stop the run, I think we got the game. So, I mean, that's kind of where I'm seeing it. Raiders win it, but it's going to be a battle.
So I'm there with you, man. I mean, honestly, I agree with you. I think defensively, the one thing we have to stop is the rush. All right. It's the run game. Okay. They can run the football, they pound the rock. So we're really going to need our front seven to show up. and to make them one-dimensional. I think that if we go and we stop the run, we make them one-dimensional, which favors us. We got Marcus Peters on our backside. I think Jacorian Bennett will start opposite side of him, the rookie. Then we have at starting safety, we have Epps, and then we have Trayvon Moore. So I think, in my opinion, when I look at their wide receivers, Jared Judy's beat up. Courtland Sutton, I think, is questionable. Sims is their number one guy right now. He's the rookie that's coming out. He's their number 3, but for this game, he's going to be their actual number 1. So
what's
when
showing
we
right
look
here is our.
at,
It's like we got Nate Hobbs opposite of Marcus Peters is what it's showing on my depth chart here.
So even if we got Nate Hobbs opposite of Marcus Peters, okay, I think Nate Hobbs does a great job of playing the slot.
I think he's a slot receiver. That dude can ball in the slot.
He's a nickel guy. So
yes,
for
sir.
me, when he goes outside, he struggles. So again, I see Jacorian Bennett really coming in and taking that spot. Now, Nate Hobbs is a great corner. I'm not going to take anything away from him because the dude's a beast.
Yes.
He can play. So again, I'm like, if we go with that, even if he plays opposite side, I don't think the Broncos have the 2 outside guys for them to be taking the ball and throwing the ball 55 times. They're just not built that way. So for me,
agree with you.
Again, we have to make them one-dimensional. We have to get Jared Tillery. We have to get Nicholas Bilal. We have to get Max Crosby. We have to get Chandler Jones. We have to get Tyree Wilson to stop the run. Okay. Once we stop the run, make them one-dimensional, and they have to throw the ball. Woo, baby. We talking. We gonna be doing some things. Okay, because I want to see Russell Wilson have to throw the ball into those tight windows with those type of guys in the secondary. I mean, we got some ball hawks, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
So, hey, I want to see that. I want Russell Wilson to throw the ball 45 times. I hope they go like CU did last night. It was 45 throws in one game. I'm like, if they have to throw the ball 45 times, we're going to win this game.
Yep. Exactly.
Because guess what? We're going to collapse the pocket. We got guys in the secondary that can make it happen. I'd be like, that's the way we're built. So that makes me excited. I think defensively or offensively, the biggest key for us is going to be getting right here, this guy right here, but not 2-8 anymore, number 8 now. We got to get him going. We got to get those wheels going. And then the big matchup outside is going to be Devontae Adams and
Courtland Sutton.
No.
Or not Sutton.
Adams,
I'm sorry.
Surtain.
Surtain. Yeah, Patrick Surtain. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So that's going to be huge.
But hey, what did he say last year? He ain't ready. He ain't ready.
He might, and you know
Might
what?
be.
He might not be. So again, I'd be like, it's going to be exciting to see that. Now, I also want to see how we use our tight ends. Okay, and this is going to be a key. I think Jimmy Garoppolo needs a tight end. Jimmy G.
So do you think we go with a two tight end formation? Do you think we do that?
I see. I don't see why not. And I mean, like, we'll go into a double tight end. Maybe, we'll go into an unbalanced sets, things like that. We'll bring in an extra offensive lineman. We've done it before last year. We go 3 tight end set. And instead of bringing another tight end, you bring in a left tackle that's more athletic and you power with the ball. So I can definitely see that happening. I mean, like, I can definitely see us saying, hey, you know what? We're going to power the rock and we're just going to throw in extra line. But my key thing is with Jimmy G, because of his lack of mobility and his whole history of being injury prone, we need that tight end. We need that security blanket that he can just get out there, and he's just a big dude that when you're in trouble, you throw the little pop shot to him, and man, he's going to make it happen. So I think Mayer's the kid from Notre Dame. He's going to play a huge role.
Yep.
Austin Hooper, bro.
Austin Hooper.
Dude, I don't know. I'd be like, what do you think? I mean, like this whole preseason, in my opinion, I'm amazed that
I
he made
don't.
the team.
I honestly, to tell you the truth, like, look at how we did with Jacobs last year. Okay, we started him
Yeah,
in the preseason. People were like, "Man, what are you doing? Why are you starting your starter?" And blah blah blah.
yeah.
But I think this year McDaniels went with a different way when it came to the tight ends. I think he didn't really use them much. Like, I mean, he did, but you didn't see very. They weren't very effective. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah,
I
no, so
think
that's what I'm
I
saying. I
think he's
mean, like,
holding a
dude,
lot back. Like he didn't really throw to the tight ends too much to try to give stuff away, and let people figure it out. I think once the season starts, he's going to start using these tight ends a lot more. He's going to start putting them in different sets, double sets, triple sets, things like you're talking about. And I
I mean,
think we're
like,
actually I think,
uh,
and knowing he come from New England, you know what I mean? Like where they ran tight ends all the time, like Gronkowski and, I won't bring his name up, but everybody knows him. He don't deserve the credit. Anyways, but yeah, they ran their doubles tight ends and stuff like that over there, and he's gonna end up bringing it over here and doing the same thing. And I just don't think he showed a lot
no,
of it in
agreed.
preseason. Whereas, man, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of
Hey,
lost where I was going with this whole thing.
no, I got you. So, like, here's my thing with McDaniels, okay? Like, he has a history. I mean, like, if you look at it, his offensive scheme, bro, tight ends run heavy in his offense.
Yes,
I agree with
yes,
you. With Gronkowski, with guys like that, he has definitely, even with Tom Brady, okay? I know TB right now, hey, he's a Raiders owner. So now he's a
right.
Raider. I'll be like, for me, as soon as your ownership, as soon as you become part of the family, I have to forgive what happened in the past and let you be a Raider. So TB's a Raider right now. Um,
Mm,
dude, with
mm,
TB, yeah, I know. It's weird to say. It's weird to say, but
yeah. Well, hopefully,
TB is a Raider, bro. Like he's an owner. Like there's
Yep.
nothing, bro. We saw him in Dallas on the sideline, on the Raider sideline. So I'll be like, bro, you can't say, hey, I get it.
He's
I
not
don't
there
like
helping
it.
people. You know what I
He's
mean?
not a player, but he's a
Yep.
Raider. Now he's a
Yep.
Raider. He's part of management. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. But when he was playing with the Patriots, Josh McDaniels used Gronkowski in so many different ways. And I really see the kid from Notre Dame coming
Hmm.
in and being used that way.
Yep.
I mean,
And
like the
that's
kid
kind of
can
where I was getting at with it
mismatch.
too. I kind of lost my train of thought trying to talk about it, but yeah, that's kind of where I was going with the whole thing. Is they're going to use him a lot. Michael Mayer, they're gonna put him in these situations like they did with Gronkowski, and the dude's big. He's a big bodied tight end, man, and it's going to be hard to cover him.
And
So
he can run,
they're
bro.
going to
I
use him
mean,
in
like he
special
can
ways,
run.
and he can run. Yes, yes, he can run.
I'd be like, so when you look at a tight end, man, basically what you're doing is putting a power forward out on the field
Hmm.
that can run, that can block, that can catch, do a bunch of different things. And that's where it's key, man. And I really see that with him. I see that this kid has the ability to do all those. So
Now,
I think
is it gonna be right off the bat, or do you think it'll be something that
no. So I
you
don't
think
think
he's
it'll
gonna
be right
shine
off
right
the
off the
bat.
bat, or do you think he's
No,
gonna take
no,
a little
dude.
time to develop?
I think it's gonna take time to develop. One, because like if if you just see him, like, dude, like he's learning. I mean, like you see the way that he moves on the field, the way that he's trying to figure out the offense. Give him a year. Dude, give him a
Yeah.
year. Next year he'll be our starting tight end. Now, do I think he's gonna be like Waller, who's a wide receiver, basically playing tight end? No, I don't think he's gonna be that. I think this guy's more um he's a better blocker.
Yeah.
And I'll say that. I'll be like, he's a better blocker. I mean, like, he's a guy that we can use every single down. Now, he's not a guy that I would put outside as a wide receiver because guess what? He's just not fast enough, man. I mean, like, I don't see him
Yeah.
having that shiftiness to him that you could say like, dude, like, hey, we can put him outside. Now, I'm like, again, this is where it becomes crucial. Like you said, I think McDaniels is going to use two tight end sets. He's going to use triple tight end sets, and that's where he becomes a huge advantage. I mean, like in the red zone, things like that, where we can use pop passes, play action, things like that for him to create separation and get separation. Bro, that's going to make a big change. So I think
Yep.
that's where he becomes key, and I think that's where he's going to develop the most. And I think Austin Hooper being there to help him develop is going to be key. I think that gives him a guy that's a veteran, that's done it, that's been a Pro Bowler in this league, that can show you, hey man, like this is the way you're supposed to do it, and that's going to be key for him. What do you think?
I agree with you. You're like pretty much spot on with that whole topic right there. Like, I don't know if I could really add anything to it. You pretty much nailed it. But I agree
Uh,
with you. I think that's exactly how they're going to run I think that's exactly how they're going to run the offense, how they're going to run the defense, or not the defense, but the tight ends. You know,
yeah, I just see that. I mean, like, dude, it's like you said. I mean, like Josh McDaniels is a super guy that he uses those tight ends in those manners. So again, I'm like at the end of the day, like, dude, like what are we gonna do and say to change that? Nothing. What we're gonna do is say, hey, we're gonna use our tight ends, we're gonna develop those guys, and we're gonna make sure that hey, they are a big piece in our game plan. I really do think that McDaniels is going to be like, hey, this is the way I use them. This is their advantages. This is their disadvantages. And he's going to put Michael Mayer in a spot to excel, man.
right. I
So,
think he will too.
all right, let's look at the whole uh, defensive back situation. Okay. Now,
Okay.
we got a bunch of rookies, right, everywhere. One
Yep.
of the rookies is going to be Jacorian Bennett.
Yep.
Okay. Where
First
do you
player to
see
ever wear
Jacorian
number
Bennett fitting,
0.
right? So, where do you see him fitting in? How, and exactly when do you see him coming in? Let's,
So I think he comes in a little earlier this season with Brennan Faison being questionable. And he's always been kind of fragile, that guy. I think back when he played for us last time, he was injured a lot. So I think he's going to see action a lot sooner than we're expecting. Um, Now, when Faison gets healthy, I think Jacorian Bennett kind of plays, you know, certain packages. Um, but I really do think that if this kid is the way, or talked about the way he's talked about, that he'll live up to his hype and his expectation. But I don't. Again, it's kind of like you throw a rookie in there to. I mean, unless this dude's awesome Mawa, and just shuts down that corner and nobody throws to his side, then I see him picking on him,
but
for a little
I
while.
mean, like, but that's normal, man. I mean, like,
Yeah.
honestly, when we look at the way the league's developed, every rookie DB, you're going to get picked up. You know
Mhm.
that, hey, you know what? They're going to challenge you. Now, what I see is Jacorian Bennett is I want to see him healthy. I want to see what he can really do because I do think he can be that opposite side corner of Marcus Peters. I think that
I
he's that
believe he
type of
can too.
guy,
Yep.
So what we have to do is wait and be
So,
patient and see him develop.
do you
Go ahead.
think do you think he is do you think he'll be better than Amik Roberts or Robertson?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to
Yeah.
say it like this. Okay. I like Amik Robertson. The one thing that Amik suffers is because he's size. He's only 5'8". And when you're 5'8", bro, you got to be a dog.
5'8", baby. I'm only
Yes.
5'8" too.
I'd be like, hey, bro, I'd be like, but imagine this. Okay. You're 5'8", covering a 6'4"
Yeah.
receiver. I mean, like right now, I'd be like, if you stand next to a guy that's 6'4", you're like, dude, this guy is enormous. So Amik does a great job of getting in the hip. I mean, like he's stingy. He does a great job, but I really do think he excels more in the slot or with slot guys because of his size and his shiftiness. Now, when we look at corners on the outside, those guys, he doesn't excel there, bro. Like he's 5'8". That's where like he gets picked on, and a guy that's 6'4", 6'5", bro, they're gonna catch it over the top. They're throwing it over the top. They're gonna take advantage of it. That's why I think Meek sucks. Okay, but I think Jacorian Bennett is gonna be something different just because of his gameplay style, the way that
What
he
is his?
approaches.
How tall is Jacorian Bennett? Do you know that?
Let me check right now. I can give you.
Oh wait, right here. Here I can see right here. Oh, he's 5'11", so just
So
under
I'd
6
be like,
foot.
just under 6 foot. 6 foot. That makes him a lot more competitive for those balls. I mean, like it gives you more length. It gives you, you can play bump and run. You know, everything like that, bro. Like height helps you. Okay, as long as you got good hips and you can play corner, you're
Hmm.
good. Usually, like if you're like have stiff hips, that's when you play safety. Okay,
Right.
because safeties have stiff hips. You know, they can't really like get in and out of breaks that quickly. Not that they can't, because let's be real, these guys are NFL players. They can do it at a higher level than I can. That's for
Hmm.
sure. But I think like when you look at him, he doesn't have stiff hips. Bro, he's very fluid. The way that he moves, the way that he plays, bro, that guy can be something special. And I think that guy in the DB room right now is learning so much, bro. Like he's being taught, he's being groomed. So it's exciting to see.
Yep.
Another rookie that I think is gonna make a big impact. Okay. It has to be again Michael Mayer. Okay, the tight
Yeah.
end. He's gonna make a big impact, and he has to. I think that the way that the offense is built and structured, we have to make sure that that guy is a key component. I mean, who else do we got?
I think Tyree Wilson is another one that we're gonna have to keep an eye on too, man. Like, I really hope this guy lives up to what he was in college. You know, he was a beast in college. I'd like to see the same thing in the NFL and transpire, or transfer over to
Transpire?
the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got you, bro. Like literally, like I see Tyree Wilson. What I see is a lot of raw potential. And I mean, like you might think I'm crazy, bro, but like if you look at him right now, dude, he reminds me of, and guys, don't take this literal or anything like that, of like Reggie White, you know?
Yeah,
So,
I could see that. I see
yeah,
more of a Chandler Jones type with him than,
I mean, like he is
you
like
know what I
Chandler. Don't
mean.
get me wrong. I'd be like, but he has so much power. And I mean, like
Hmm.
if you look at the first game, all right, bro, he literally picked up the tackle, put him in a guy's lap against Dallas or
Yep.
against freaking QB's lap right there, right? And I'd be
Yep.
like, he just has so much power and he's so raw that I'm like, dude, like this dude is gonna be something special. He just needs to figure
Yep.
it out. Like you can
Yep.
tell that, hey, he's a little rusty. He hasn't played since November, but man, that guy is just gonna be something special. And
Yes.
it's exciting, especially as Raiders fans.
Yeah, and I mean, if you have him and Max Crosby, oh boy, if he lives up to what his hype is, ooh man, I think we would have the two best defensive ends in the league. You know,
No,
but
absolutely. I mean, like, and if you look at the way that we're being built, we are being built for the league, man. We are honestly
mm-hmm,
being built to make it
contend.
happen. I mean, yeah, because I mean, like, we got Max on one side. Yeah, Chandler Jones is getting older, but now we added another piece in Tyree Wilson. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so now we just need two interior
Malcolm
guys to really
Kuntz,
step up. It, it,
we got
now Malcolm Kuntz, bro, talk about a dude that had just shown up on film all preseason. That guy earned a spot, and
yep.
I love the
I
way that
agree
he's
with
been
you on
playing
that.
for us, man.
Yep.
So He's gonna be another great switch up that we bring in. I mean, like literally, I'm looking at the defensive end spot, and we got a 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 dudes that we can really get after the QB with. I'd be like, you got
Yep.
Malcolm Kuntz, you got Crosby, you got Chandler Jones, and you got Tyree Wilson. You got
Yep.
4 freaking pit bulls, bro, ready to eat. So
My only
whatever
concern on
QB's out
on
there,
our defense
go ahead.
is probably by our linebacking core. That would be my biggest concern.
No, I'm absolutely right there with you, bro. We're so light in the butt at linebacker
Hmm.
that it's like, hey,
So we
what are
really
we
need.
doing?
That's where we're going to need our corners to step up, our safeties to step up. We're going to need our defensive ends to step up because I do really feel that we're going to get beat with our linebackers. You know what I
So,
mean? They're gonna tear us
I,
apart with our linebacking core. I don't see our linebacking core being very strong at all.
well, and I'm there with you. I really think that's one of the biggest weaknesses on our team is the linebacking core. But at the same time, I'm like, guess what? Every single team has a weakness. And every
Yeah,
single team has got like where you look at it and you say, okay, well, they're really good here, they're really good here, but they're not good here, here, and here.
right,
You
right.
know, so again, I mean, like, yeah, our linebacking core is not the greatest, but I think like we have so many other pieces that we can
That it
cover
can.
for them.
That's what I. Yeah, that's yep. That's what I was getting at.
Yep.
So
So I
those other
think
guys
like
can
that's
step
something
up,
that we
and
have to look at.
mhm. And we're
Um,
playing that what 4-3 front this year. Playing 4-3.
yeah, it looks like a 4-3 or a 4-2-5 or something like that. I
Yeah,
mean, like they
something like
might be
that.
bringing an odd front with also bringing the ad from one of the outside linebackers. Okay, guys, when we talk
Mm,
about odd front, that means they're running a, a three down lineman and then they bring an extra linebacker to be that fourth lineman. Okay, so when we say odd front, that means they got three defensive linemen. When we say even front, that means they got four. Okay,
yep. That's
so
where you bring in that.
yeah. So I think
Uh,
really we're running that even front, and then we'll bring in that nickel. I'd see Divine Diablo really like playing that weak side backer. You know,
mm,
he's not going to be the guy that plays that strong side backer. And I really do think, and from what I've seen, I think Spillane's going to start. The guy that we brought over from the Steelers,
yeah, I
that
think it
I
was the
think he's going
Steelers.
to
I believe
start.
so.
So I think he'll start at Mike or Masterson. I don't really see Masterson being the long term solution to our linebacker problems. So I really do feel like um that's something that Ziegler is gonna take care of here in the future.
Hmm.
But again, I mean, like we got what we got right now. So I
I
really
think
see us
that's a lot
running
of the
like
reason
a
why
nickel
everybody was a
package.
little. I think that was a lot of the reason why people were a little upset that we got rid of Drake Thomas.
I
Was,
think so too. I think they
you know,
saw that we have a weakness there, and they see that, hey, you know what, this guy was showing up and he was making plays for us. So I think you're right, and it comes down to that fact that we say, hey, you know
but
what,
do we pay seven
they.
linebackers? That's the thing, though. Do you pay seven linebackers?
It's so again, I
It's too
mean, like
many.
it's easy for us to say. It's a difficult process. So I'd be like, we got to look at what they were looking at and say, hey, is this guy better? Or is this guy worse? Is this guy, worth the money? So again, I really do think I agree with you that our linebacking core is definitely our biggest weakness, and we have to take care of that. Now, offensively, okay, what do you feel like is where the
I,
rookies are going to step in and our biggest weakness?
so our biggest weakness is going to be our line, and I think it starts with our right tackle. Um, Illuminaire, I I don't know, man. Like he showed a lot of potential last year, but I just don't
We
know,
also
man.
got
If that's
Munford there, though. We
yeah,
also got
but
Munford, and go ahead.
and that was what he was our first. He was our pick last year, right? Our third round pick that we picked up after the
I
trade
think we
for.
picked him up in the fifth or no, we picked him up in the seventh or something like that.
Oh, okay,
He's a later round draft pick.
okay. I couldn't remember if
Uh,
he's the guy that we picked up after we traded for Devontae or not.
yeah, so I mean, like, so you're right. I think
But
offensively, our offensive line is super questionable. So you say right tackle, I'll
I
be
say
like,
right tackle is my biggest question on our line right or on our offense right now is our right tackle. Um, Obviously our left tackle solidified with Colton Miller. He ain't going nowhere unless he gets hurt, you know. Dylan Ferrum, that's the guy. Parham, that's the guy that we picked up
yeah,
um, for third round. He's got potential if he can live up to it. He just got to keep pushing. He's got to keep doing his job, and he's a big dude and he's powerful, and I think he holds his own well. He's still young though, and he's still. This would pretty much be like his rookie year technically if you look at it because he didn't play much last year.
Yeah, and I'm there with you. I mean, like, I think he's gonna be a key player. I mean, Dylan Parma, dude, he can do so many things. He can play guard, he can play
Mhm.
uh outside. So I mean, he's key player for us on the
I
offensive
think
line,
he can
for
play
sure.
almost everything. I don't know if he plays center or not, but I'm pretty sure he plays every side of the ball. Or that's why they picked him up was because he could play every side of the ball.
No,
Um,
I agree with that.
Andre James, I think he's a decent center. Now he ain't no Rodney Hudson by any means, but he's definitely someone that can hold his own, and he's proven that already. You know, he does let up his sacks here and there, and he does blow coverages sometimes or blocks and shit
Pass
like that
protection,
here and
yeah.
there. But you know, he holds his own. You know, for the most part, I'm not too worried about him. I don't really know much about Greg Van Rotten, so I don't know. Is he a rookie?
I don't either. I think so. But I mean, like, again,
He
that's
definitely
where
got a Raider
that
name.
yeah. I'd be like, and that's kind of like exciting. I mean, like, if we got a young guy that's out there that's like, hey, putting it on, you want to see what he got. And I think
Hmm.
that's where he comes in. And I think he did a good job in preseason. I don't know too much about him either. I know that, hey, he's come in and he solidified a spot and he took a
So do
spot. So
you? So
obviously,
you? So would you
but
say if we started Tyre Munford right on our right
yeah,
tackle, would you put Jermaine Illuminor as your swing
he's a swing tackle for me all day. I
all
mean,
day? He'd
like when
be
I look
yeah.
at Illuminor, he can play both the right side and the left. He's athletic. He can pull. So yeah, I mean, like when I see him, I see a swing tackle. I see a guy that can like come in and play right tackle if we need him, play left tackle if we need him. And dude, he's gonna
You think
go
he
in
could he
there.
play? He plays guard too, doesn't he?
I believe so. I believe
Because
he plays inside and outside. So again,
yeah,
that's
because I see
another
if
guy that
Greg
can do a
Van
bunch of
Rotten
things.
kind of struggles, I can see him kind of shifting over there and Thayer Munford taking over the right tackle spot. I could see something
Yeah,
like that.
I could see that too. And I mean, like, that's where it gets interesting with our offensive line and everything like that, because you got guys that, hey, you're like, dude, who is this guy? Where's this guy gonna play? Where do we plug and play? So we got a lot of guys that can do different things. When you get guys that can play inside and outside, dude, those are like very rare linemen. People
Hmm.
don't get how important linemen are and how rare they are. Dude, linemen don't just grow on trees. You don't find 6'5" guys that weigh 300 pounds that move like that can move
Yep.
another human being just down the street. So for me, when you see guys that we have on our offensive line that where they're saying, hey, these guys can play inside or outside, as a coach, I'm excited, man, because I go like, dude, that guy can do so many things for us.
Yep.
And now we're not pigeonholing ourselves in order to create a system where those guys are going to be successful, you
Exactly.
know? So I think that's exciting for us. But I mean, what can we say? We got to look at it and we'll see in the future for sure and what Josh McDaniels wants to do.
Yep. Um, I think our strength, obviously, big number 8 right there, and number 17. I think those are our strengths right there. We'll have to see how Jimmy Garoppolo holds up in the season and see what he can do. I know a lot of people were hyped up about Aiden O'Connell in the preseason, talking him up about being the starter and stuff like that, and I couldn't disagree any more than that. Like I do not throw that kid in there, man. You will feed him to the sharks and he will get eaten, bro. He will not make it. Give him a year or two behind Jimmy, even Brian Hoyer. You know, it might suck and we might have a garbage quarterback if Jimmy goes down, but I wouldn't put Aiden O'Connell in there just yet, man. Like
No,
he's got
I
a lot
agree
to
with
learn
you.
still.
Yeah, so I agree with you 100%. I think um, Devontae is going to be a huge key on the outside. I think Hunter
Mhm.
Renfro is going to be a new key. Jacoby Meyers has to be a player that you bring in, and he has to make a big splash. Of course, for us, Josh Jacobs is our motor. If he gets going, then it's going to be a big time thing. Um, Jimmy G, Jimmy G I think he's a good quarterback, man. He's just injury prone. We need to like give
Mhm.
him time to develop, to gel with the guys. Obviously, he's doing all the work. He's shaking hands, kissing babies, whatever he has to do to gel over the guys. Tay's a beast. Like at the end of the day, all those guys are key players that we have that can make key plays that are in key positions. I think the Raiders are definitely loaded on offense, and I agree with you. Aiden O'Connell needs to learn this year.
And
We
this
need
is
to
where I see
stop getting on this
if he
hype train, man.
sits back behind the guy for 2 years and learns this playbook, man, you've seen how good he was in the preseason. Now just imagine how much better he could be if he understands the playbook and knows how to read the defense and can go out there and change stuff at the line of scrimmage and be able to see what safety's doing or what corner's doing what safety's doing what, and be able to read that and counter it and change it up at the line. That's where he is, he's going to struggle in that area if you throw him in here right now. He's not going to understand it. It's going to move too fast for him. He played against second and third stringers. I'm not saying they're slums by any mean because they're all playing in the NFL, but put him up against some starters and let's see how he does. Give him some time. He ain't going to hold up with the starters.
All right, man. So I'm going to give you my thoughts and we'll wrap up the show after this one, all right, on Aiden O'Connell, okay? Here's my thoughts, bro. Hey, Aiden O'Connell needs to develop, okay? He needs to be taught. He needs to be groomed. He needs to be shown. I mean, like the guy's shown that he has absolute potential. But as Raiders fans, we also got to pump the brakes. We have to realize that this kid is going to be something special as long as we let him develop. Okay. Like if we go and we throw him to the fire and then he messes up and his mind gets all messed up, it's over.
Yeah.
And as Raiders fans, we have this big thing where like we think we know more than we do. Okay. I'm like, dude, shut up. You're on the couch. You ain't never played this game. Just shut up. But no, like we have these dudes that are like, oh, I know, blah, blah, blah. Bro, you played Pee-wee football.
Yeah.
And that's the max. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to let him develop, let him grow, and I think he's going to be something special.
I agree with you 100%.
All right, brother. Hey, I want to thank you for joining us on the show. Guys, hey, if you guys are listening out there, make sure that you guys follow us on Facebook at the Silver and Black of Western Colorado page. Join us on, follow us on Instagram at the Silver and Black of Western CO. You can hit us on our podcast at SBWC Podcast on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And again, guys, you guys can also hit us on any download or podcast. So hit us on Apple Podcast, hit us up on Spotify, hit that link. Make sure you subscribe. Hit us up on YouTube. Hey, guys, we'll be doing another show this week. Hey, we got nothing but love for you guys, Raider Nation. Hey, this is Raider Will signing out. Raider Nation, baby.
Raider Nation, baby. See you guys in Denver if you guys show up.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well,